Yep, the competitive attitude is strong in this one, and we'll see as to whether or not he can take a game from Ryung and maybe even win the series. If he gets the momentum back, then that might just happen. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I bring you Dignitas BlinG. He's in the orange trunks. He is playing Protoss to the southeast of the Taldrum altar versus his opponent, Slayers Ryung. He is in the red trunks, and he is playing Terran to the northeast.
And I wonder if BlinG's going to look at that last game positively or negatively, because there's two ways to look at it, really there is. Because he can go ahead and be like, I can beat this guy. Are you kidding me? I almost won that game. I can easily beat this guy. Yep. Or he can go ahead and be like, oh no, I messed up so bad, and then start to get nervous, and then just basically break down. And if you compare it to previous games and tournaments for BlinG as well, I mean, he's actually broken down more times than he's got positive emotions from the games. And especially the biggest example would be the last I-Series tournament where he was playing against Fargo, if I remember correctly, and he lost one game on Crevasse, and he played amazingly. One bad engagement cost him the game, and in the second game he was like, F this game, it's so bad, and he just went ahead and just all-in and lost immediately. Yep. If he'd kept control and realized where he went wrong, he obviously would have won the second game. So we'll see how he does that. And to be honest, I think he's feeling really comfortable going into this series, especially with a 2-0 win against Thorzane earlier on.
Yeah, that's definitely helped. It's proven his prowess in the TVP matchup. And honestly, when you think about the series of games as well, you're talking about not something that was double all-in wins from him. It was a straight-up macro game the first time around. Really, really greedy play, just kind of like he's doing right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is almost becoming standard on this map, is to go for this expansion first. And even if your opponent goes for a Reaper first or Marauders, you can usually, well, what you want to do, because you've obviously got a lot of minerals for going for this, is probably go for a double gateway relatively fast, then backed up by a Cybernetics core. But basically what that allows you to go for is double Stalkers almost immediately. If you're under pressure, you can chrono boost both gateways and make double Stalkers here. And actually look at this, a bunker coming down from Ryung. Going to try to put a bit of pressure on, but in reality here it looks like it's just going to be an expansion play from Ryung, but putting a little bit of pressure on from a BlinG that doesn't actually see this bunker at all.
No, he does not. And I think this is actually a natural response that's been bred into the DNA of the Korean player right now, the Korean Terran. If it sees expansion, it must build bunker. It is right there. And will he be able to stop that from happening?
No, the bunker's actually going to complete, and Marines are almost on the way there. BlinG has to get a surround on that Marine. That's so important.
And he's not going to get it. Oh, no, that is not good at all. BlinG needs to back off immediately. Loses a probe in the process. That is not a good start.
That's not a good start at all. He's chrono boosting the Zealot out. He does have the Cybernetics core intact, but the Marine will take a very long time to actually kill this Nexus, even with more friends coming along the way. But the most important thing is he's not mining from this expansion, and Ryung is getting his own up and running, and SCV is actually trying to help out the Brethrens as they're going to try and take this Nexus down. BlinG, even with Stalkers, he has to use Zealots, actually, I was going to say, has to use Zealots to get out first, and all his chrono boost has been spent into this, and even if he try to attack here, these 3 SCVs can go back and easily repair this bunker. Not a good start here for BlinG.
No, it's not. The shields are starting to fall down on the Nexus as well, just 1,000 HP remaining, and these shields are now down, and this is getting awfully close if he wants to stop this.
Oh my god, so many probes have been pulled off. Okay, he's going to clear the bunker up, and Ryung's like, okay, you're going to clear it up, but look at how many probes he's actually not mining with right now, and easily targeted down as well.
Yeah, that's the problem. He's going to take a ton of economic damage from this as well. He wants to try and prevent the SCVs from repairing. Needless to say, that is hard to watch. So many probes killed.
10 in total have been killed already, and Ryung's got a fast expansion, and he's adding on just second, third gateway, getting the bunker up as well, and even more probes could actually go down here, and this is a nightmare start for BlinG in this game. This is absolutely horrible. 10 probes, doesn't lose another one, but still, 10 did go down. There was a couple of SCVs there killed as well, so it's not just 10, it's 3 being killed from BlinG to Ryung, but double orbital command. Basically what BlinG needs to do now is be super greedy. All chrono boost in the Nexus. Don't even think about chrono boost in the Cybernetics core or any of the gateways.
Yeah, absolutely. Get as many probes out as humanly possible. You can do that. You can get probes out much faster. You already see that he's now got a probe lead. Admittedly, he is up against double mules as well, so he's still slightly behind, and he has taken more damage than his opponent. And BlinG's going to try and take map control and maybe poke in a little bit here and there, and another Marine sneaks in, and that's a ton of probes pulled off the line again. That to me seems like a kind of an overreaction almost, but he's got nothing else to stop it with.
And he misses the surround, and unfortunately a lot more mining time is not wasted here, and look at that. He's eventually going to get it, but A lot of time wasted once again. And even though the probe count is obviously getting okay because he's spending a lot of chrono boost into it, everything else is falling behind. His tech, his upgrades, and all these things. So basically, I wouldn't be surprised if we just saw a standard follow-up push from Ryung here. He's actually getting both tech labs onto the tech lab and reactor, sorry, onto these barracks. Usually, you don't want to do that in case of an attack. You actually have to stay on a single barracks without add-ons for a little bit longer, but he knows that BlinG can't do anything right now, so he's actually going to be able to upgrade his Marines and Marauders a lot easier here.
Yeah, he will. And BlinG's going to start to smash his way through these rocks right here, potentially to take this guy is actually the overseer of the operation. He's not getting involved, as you can see. There you go. He's decided to get involved. What a great, great leader he is. And at this point, we've got map control being taken by Ryung, who is just going to sit on this Selnaga tower here. He can keep a nice eye on anything coming out of that natural expansion there. Double Forge, an interesting idea right here from BlinG, going for a heavy upgrade approach on 4 gateways.
And he has to be so careful, though. These units, without stim, without combat shield, are still going to do a lot of damage to the little units. Though BlinG can still force field if he's in position, should I stress, because right now he is not in position. And if these units go up, he doesn't really have it. He has a lot of force fields. If he gets them well, 4 Zealots will be able to do a lot of damage, but maybe not enough to kill all these units.
Well, I guess we're about to find out, aren't we? Those force fields were pretty good, honestly. The Zealots are able to get good coverage there, smash their way in after those Marines all cleaned up. And a warping on the lower ground. He really does not want to let those guys get away at all, but he's not going to have the choice, I feel. He might be able to snipe off 1 Marine or so, but I wouldn't overcommit to that. How did that get there?
It did get there, and he spots the double upgrades, knows exactly what's going on. So basically, when he sees double upgrades like that, he's like, all right, you're not going to rush up to Colossus. I'm going to get 4, 6 maybe medivacs and just really focus on healing these units. At the same time, he's taking a 3rd base, realizing that BlinG is spending a lot of money in upgrades as well. So really nice play here from Ryung, and also I love that actually added on a 2nd engineering bay incredibly early here, realizing that I cannot afford to fall behind in upgrades. That is basically how BlinG is beaten a lot of Terran players, is just flying ahead in upgrades. Ryung on top of that already. Yeah,
it's good to see that BlinG's got some of his momentum back here. He's not ahead economically, but he is keeping up, more to the point. And there is the possibility of taking this 3rd base right now, but it will end up being behind Ryung's quite significantly. And you've got to wonder, well, what's the kind of timing that BlinG needs to hit in order to really do damage here?
There isn't any timings he needs to hit. It's the timings he has to prepare for, which is the one coming pretty much now. As soon as 2 medics come out, Stim is about to finish as well. +1 attack won't really come into effect here unless he waits for it, but at the same time, this is still going to be dangerous. There's no Zealot leg charge, which is obviously the best upgrade in the world to defend these kind of timing attacks. So he's got to be so careful, and it looks like +1 will finish by the time these 2 medics come down, and he's going to be able to prevent a 3rd base from going up fairly easily. And actually, he's going to drop. Oh, this is going to be very tough for BlinG because he doesn't have that many Stalkers. He's actually moving Stalkers to the back here very smartly, expecting some form of drop. And he has to be so careful, though. And Ryung is going to be able to drop down, but will BlinG even see this coming?
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it? He thinks there might be a drop, and it is about the right timing for those double medevacs to come up based on what he's seen already. This could be a good interception here. And actually, the way the base has been built, it's kind of difficult to drop outside the range of that. That would be disastrous. 1 medevac sniped off. Looking for the 2nd one right here. It's down. Wow. Nice interception by BlinG. Incredible game sense.
Alright, that just puts him in a perfect world. Now he can go take his 3rd base because there's literally no units out here anymore. So he's going to go take his 3rd base. His upgrades are going very well. He's focusing a lot on them, and he's currently at 2-2. Halfway through 2-2. Let's have a look at Ryung's upgrades. Does he actually have the armory? Armory's just about to finish. He's currently at 1-0. Going to be getting that +2 straight away. The Ghost Academy about to be made as well as he takes the 3rd base. But basically, that mistake early on that BlinG made, losing those probes, has been nullified now. He's basically put the advantage out of the window, say, hey, I want that back. Things are level once again, and BlinG, he can do it. He can.
You know, he's looking more calm and collected right here. He is using his head and saying, right, well, what could happen at this stage, and how can I prepare for it? I know that he's not coming in the front, so where's he going? Drop is a possibility. Let's move to the back. He also knows about my double upgrade, so perhaps he wants to snipe them, moving into that position. He did so very, very well. That's good. That's what we need to see from BlinG in order to get back into this. And he's equalized quite nicely. The supply is almost identical.
Oh, surprisingly, BlinG going for a relatively really early robotics bay for his own kind of style. Usually he does this a lot later on, really wants to focus with all his gas into these upgrades, but he's feeling quite comfortable to do this. The Colossus won't make such a dramatic entrance, and actually hold that thought, because another drop is coming in to the back of the base, and this one might be a little bit more successful, as the Sim City of BlinG actually prevents any units from coming back there. He has to warp in.
Yeah, he's going to have to do that, and that is potentially a forge being cancelled. Thankfully, it did finish an upgrade. That will go down. Second one might even get started as well, because that's the +3 there, and that's not good. Second one is going down. BlinG just not responding to this in time.
I mean, he responded in time. It's the fact that he can't get there in time, because his SimCity is that good. He's worn himself out.
Well, it's not that good, then.
Usually it's good to prevent them coming from the front,
yeah,
but obviously worn from the back here. And obviously that's not good at all for BlinG. And his focus is always around his upgrades, and that's been stunted now, which is going to allow Ryung to keep on top of it. He's almost at 2-1 now. BlinG stuck at 2-2. Was working on 3-3, had to cancel one of them, and unfortunately for that, that's not good. And the drop is here again, but cleaned up. Actually missed that, but was cleaned up again. 2 Stalkers cleaning that up. Nice play there from BlinG, and he's going to really have to do this at the same time on the 4th base of Ryung. We do have a cancellation.
Denied right there by BlinG, able to cancel that one absolutely immediately, and he's now going to send those Zealots to meet up with the army. Let's look at the sizes of them. BlinG's army is quite large, and if he's able to strike before this next round of Ghosts come in, that could be critical.
He could indeed, and these Ghosts have enough for 3, well, 1 EMP each, 3 in total. BlinG does not want to fight directly up that ramp. He has an observer there. He sees the Ghosts in place. He's going to probably try to poke around. Yeah, exactly, sniping them. Loses 1 Stalker, but for 1 Ghost, that is fine. And he can't really engage around here, because the way that this base is messed up, literally EMPs will just kill everything.
Yeah, I mean, I would actually expect him to strike poking at the top here, but it looks like Ryung's going to take the fight to him now. The Ghost count is not that high for him. He is sitting on 4, and BlinG is deliberately splitting up to try and avoid those EMPs. He knows what's going on. There's some EMPs going on, but he's still got a lot of Sentry energy, as you can see right there, trying to block off the remainder of the forces here from Ryung, and that's a good contain there. Will he be able to crush that? The Zealot count is now gone, which means the Marauders and the Marines are going to be able to come in, but reinforcements charging in from the back there. Ryung throws him back, taking some losses.
Indeed, and I think that we're going to see BlinG trapped here. Even though Zealots have been warped in, there's nothing here really. We have to control these Marauders and Marines a little bit better. There we go. And eventually BlinG's going to lose everything here.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's 3 Zealots hanging around at the back, which didn't really help either. The Stalkers can blink out of there and escape, but that still is quite a lot invested in that. But look at resources lost, however. Ryung has actually lost more in these engagements.
Indeed, he has. Well, the one thing that we're not really seeing too well from here is the Colossus. Usually, the dramatic entrance of Colossus that BlinG likes to play, and there's the second robotics facility coming down. He prefers to go, bam, double Colossus, and it is so hard for a Terran player to actually adapt into the situation. And there is the scan onto it. He actually already has Vikings in production, is currently at 3, 2 more in the making, +1 ship weapons, not that far away from finishing either. So this is not so good for BlinG, because usually when he switches over double robotics facility at the same time, you literally cannot get enough Vikings out to deal with it.
Yeah, this is an interesting one as well. He's putting Colossus down and then immediately warps in High Templar and is going directly for Archons as well. And that is intriguing. I mean, that's a lot of gas and minerals, obviously, you just invested in that.
Indeed, and finally his +3 attack is about to finish. +3 armor is not so far away, but Ryung is keeping up with upgrades, which we don't really see from any Terran opponents that have faced BlinG so far. And +3 attack is not too far away from finishing, but Vikings in really good position.
Yeah, but he's able to snipe off 1, however. Some damage coming in. The shield's going down. They will regenerate quite rapidly. Not able to take out a gateway either. The infamous scouting factory is looking around. It sees a pylon and must be thinking, is there another expansion there? And that is perhaps the case.
And 1 Marine here is going to do a lot of damage. A single Zealot walked in to deal with it. But BlinG is chasing around in the middle of the map, trying to kill, well, she kills a Ghost here. At the same time, BlinG is about to complete with 3-3, and there's a small window for him to abuse the fact that Ryung is only at 3-2, as +3 attack is just this second going to finish. But so far, toe-to-toe, BlinG doing quite okay against this Korean Terran.
Yeah, he's doing fairly well here, honestly. The problem is that Ryung does have the larger army right now, and it's going to come down to control. The Viking count has got disgustingly large, and he's even got +1 ship weapon, looking for +2 as well. Colossus will not last long, and there's a large number of them as well, and they are critical to this attack.
Ooh, we are going to have a drop onto BlinG's 3rd base right now. There is nothing here, no cannons, no units or anything to actually defend this. And meanwhile, Ryung is stimming in the center of the map, really taking the focus away from BlinG. BlinG is going to try and fight here, but Ryung is just baiting him away, and the drop has now landed and going to do a lot of damage here.
Yes, it will. It's going to rip its way through there, especially with the +3. Probes do not last long against that at all, and 2 Zealots will definitely not be enough. Oh, the feedback almost kills the Medivac, takes it down to 8 HP.
And BlinG is doing what he needs to do here as well. Even though he's not really going to deal with his drop that well, the Stalker will kill off the Medivac and then the drop will finally complete. But he is going up to Storm. This is what he needs to do. Against this 3-3 army and well-upgraded Vikings as well, Colossus cannot be that effective. He only has 4 Colossus. There's 10 Vikings with +2 attack about to be. They're going to die so fast. BlinG has to land key Storms if he wants to fight against this army. That's the only way he can win.
Yeah, the problem is he doesn't have any High Templar right now in order to make that happen, unfortunately. He's simply got Archons, and he's at supply cap. He can't build anymore. He would have to destroy units in order to make that happen. He can transfer now down to the 5th base. And his macro this entire game has been really, really solid. He's got a good number of production facilities as well. Even upgrading Protoss shields, just spending that gas as much as he can. It's not like he can spend it in anything else, but he's maxed out. But can he really engage here with this army composition?
I mean, he can, but I mean, it's going to be so difficult without Storm, and like you said, he can't get Storm right now because he doesn't have any High Templar, and even if he did free up some supply, it's going to take a while to get Storm because they don't have the Amulet anymore, which obviously means they don't have starting energy, and BlinG's expansion is about to go down. He can't warp in any units, right? He's at 200 supply.
Exactly.
The expansion's going to go down here for sure.
Yeah, this is the problem with playing passively when you have a 200 army. What are you going to do with it? This army is highly immobile. It's Archons, Zealots, and Colossus. He's just going to go for it. He'll have to sacrifice that base. I think he knows that. There's nothing he can do about it. But what he does know is that some of the army of Ryung is committed to that attack and will not be at the front.
But there's far too many Ryung is invested deeply into Vikings. There's 14 with +3 on the way. BlinG only has 4 Colossus, so as long as he stays away from Colossus in this game, but more importantly, Ryung is going down to this bottom base, this 4th base, doing a lot of damage. Cannons are nothing to Marauders.
No, not with +3. There certainly are. Marauders will easily got that, and the risk is, of course, that he loses yet another base, and he knows now that he must pull back. The shields are about to fall on that next. The stim at least runs out, and there we go. 2 Medivacs picked up. That base, you didn't think it would die, but he needs more DPS. The base is going down.
The Zealots are behind the Stalkers, so unfortunately they couldn't get there.
Oh, no. And a big stim up
he's
there.
He's going to get the natural as well?
Oh, yes, he is. Ryung is stretching BlinG all the way across the map, and the problem with the Colossus heavy army is it's not very mobile, and it can't respond effectively to these kind of attacks. Both of those robotics bays completely annihilated before any response can be given.
And basically, these units that Ryung is moving around the map with are basically free. He has so many minerals and gas, very, very easily replaced. So he's actually doing incredible amounts of damage, and +3 shield is going to get a cancel as well. The amount of damage compared to the money that these units cost is inconsiderable. The ratio is crazy.
It's massive. And look at the amount of tech that was taken out. He lost the Templar archives. He lost both robotics facilities. He didn't lose the bay, but it's not like he can build anything from it anyway. He's having to rebuild that. His army is still large, and it's unwieldy. He can't do anything with it.
I mean, the reason why we see both players playing so passively is usually the defensive player will naturally have a better position overall. Therefore, it's easier for them to take a fight, especially when you have a planetary fortress in the center of the map. That's definitely going to help out, which I don't think, or BlinG does actually know about and doesn't want to fight there for sure. But meanwhile, it looks like another drop is going down to that 5th base, but BlinG spots it. 4 Stalkers, no problem.
Yeah, that should be able to... actually, maybe not. They are +3, and he's not able to kill it quick enough. A couple of Marauders will chew their way through there, and then a big engagement in the side as all the Colossus fall. He's sandwiched in between 2 forces right now. BlinG's army's going to get absolutely crushed unless he's able to wheel around and start to do the damage. The Zealots charge in from the side. Try with that straight around the planetary fortress. Needs to bring that down immediately. He has to do that. Planetary fortress is about to fall. The Zealots continue to smash their way through there. Has he got enough firepower left to throw back the remainder of Ryung's army? Oh,
he's losing a drop at the same time. BlinG couldn't quite break through. There's just too many units, and the barracks are so high. He's literally building 11, 12 bio units at a time. Does manage to hold on to his 5th base, but BlinG has lost his entire expensive units. He's actually building another Templar archives because the other one got sniped. So he actually can't even warp in High Templars right now. And Ryung slowly, very passively, just tearing little parts of BlinG, a little bite here, a little bite there, really pulling him apart.
Yeah, he's even actually transitioning through the battle cruisers, which is not exactly what I call a common strategy against the Protoss, but he does have +3 air, so it's not...
Yeah.
Why not? Against a Zealot heavy force, +3 battle cruisers? Sure, why not? But you're not going to be able to kill them. You only have 5 Stalkers. So that's what I'd really be concerned about. A bit of a showboating move, but still, might as well make use of those upgrades.
And this little drop onto that 5th base once again for BlinG is dealt up quite nicely, but at the same time, Ryung's expansions have been really uncontested. He has a pylon to actually attack the 4th base, but what can he really warp in? If he warps in Zealots, they're going to die anyway versus the Planetary Fortress. He doesn't have High Templar to storm, so it's a little bit difficult for BlinG to actually harass. I'm surprised, okay, there it is. I was going to say, I'm surprised Arjun has to build a Dark Shrine to use DTs to kind of harass these naked expansions, literally no turrets anywhere. He's sitting on 3 orbital commands, but he is muling very well in this game. And BlinG, in a 29-minute game against this Korean player, will BlinG be able to remax an army he wants? He's got a lot of High Templar coming into the mix now. And against battle cruisers, if they do start to come out, which we are seeing Tech Labs being, well, actually, we don't have any starports with Tech Labs. Yeah, there are 2 starports with Tech Labs about to come out. He can use feedback against the battle cruisers as they come up. It does do
some damage, yeah.
It depends on obviously how high the energy is, but at the same time, Storm is okay, but the real thing to beat that down is going to be BlinG Stalkers, but that's going to be so hard when you have Meat Shield and Marine Marauders on the ground.
Yeah, and that's going to be another base down for BlinG right now. He has expanded up to the back as well, hoping his opponent hasn't noticed there, and the Planetary Fortress just over there and heavily muled up as well, and BlinG is forced to respond to that. He can't just leave that hanging. He must go and deal with it, and has he found it? Does he know about it? He certainly does now.
Yeah, he does now, and he'll probably drop down there very, very shortly, but, I mean, BlinG's just been torn apart all over the place, and the Dark Shrine has finished now, so we should be seeing some DTs being warped in there. 1 is being warped in, 3 now. Gonna harass this expansion, finally doing some economic damage, but oh my god, so many Vikings just dying, actually. He's got to be careful. Bad place to engage though there.
To be fair, he didn't need the Vikings. I think it was almost like he was just throwing them away. I don't see why he would have them. They are of no use at the moment.
And BlinG takes down the Planetary Fortress at the north side. Good to finally strike down onto the economy of Ryung here, finally done. And he should actually go all the way to the other Planetary Fortress as well. But turrets are being finally made there.
Yep. And there's a bunch of SCVs that he can do real damage to. Slice his way through there, kill a couple of orbital commands, at least force them to lift up, get in there, and of course spot the bizarre tech switch through to Battle Cruiser, but he's not willing to go in there just yet. He's actually going to morph that into an Archon, perhaps trying to group them together for one big push. In the meantime, we've got this drop down to the southwest as well, which is going to take yet another base away from BlinG.
I know, it's so annoying for BlinG to lose all these expansions, but it's really hard to deal with. He should be leaving DTs around on the expansions. DTs are very good at cleaning this up because literally you have to drop and then scan. It's really inefficient to do so. Meanwhile, this battlecruiser switch is still undetected from BlinG. Actually looking around in his vision, he doesn't see anything. He knows about the Viking count being relatively high, but no idea about these battlecruisers as they are hidden at the back base right now.
Yeah, Archon was kind of a waste, really, just being left around in the middle of the map there. He could have, of course, used another DT just to try and deny that. He's got Pylon there as well. More DTs coming in, DT plus 2 Zealots. That's not going to do anything, unfortunately.
No, it's going to be able to kill the turret, I suppose, but probably not the best idea to have the DT at the front.
No. If the DT dies first, then that's pointless. As you can see right there, the Zealots really just should leave there. There's a big potential engagement here, and a Warp Prism full of goodies with a High Templar. Potentially for a High Templar drop. That's a lot of EMP going on. It didn't hit that much, though.
Yeah, it didn't. It's okay, but BlinG really has to land some key storms, and I think he's actually seen the battlecruisers now. We should have, for sure. But warps in 10 more Zealots. This is still going to be difficult. If he can get underneath the battlecruisers, then he'll be able to clean them out relatively fast. But a drop onto the 3rd base as well. Relentless drops here, and this is really hurting BlinG's economy for once.
Yeah, BlinG's economy is getting pounded. It has been all game, really. Oh, wow, Behemoth Reactor. That's a rare upgrade that we see coming in right there from Ryung. And +2 ship plating as well. DT's warped in order to slice those to pieces. He's actually in a really awkward position. He can't get a good swing on it. He can't even get around in order to do damage. There we go. Finally breaking his way through. The scan goes down, but it is a bit too late. Most of those units annihilated. BlinG is holding on incredibly well here.
And then look at that. That's kind of a little maneuver. Is when you attack that 3rd base, you literally pick up and go into the main base. And it's a very nice move there. But BlinG is warping another DT to help clear it. And that's the better way to deal with it. To deal with these drops is DTs. Can BlinG keep up though? Because right now, army supply, well, not just the army supply, but overall supply. Army supply is very close, but a little bit favored towards Ryung now. But these battle cruisers are going to make the world of difference. They are so good, and especially when they have +3 and +1 armor, +2 armor on the way as well.
The problem I've got with the really good thing about Battlecruiser right now is Yamato Cannon versus Archons. You can snipe those Archons off no problem. It will bust through. They are so powerful and perfect against this army composition. Then, of course, when you kill the Archons, the Battlecruisers just have a fun time with the Zealots. So it's going to be really difficult. What I'm interested in is these Storms that he's got available.
Wow, look at all those mules making so much money. And actually a big engagement here for BlinG.
Oh, he needs to get those. No! He loses 4 High Templar and a Warp Prism. Not good. He needed those. And now he's in full retreat as Battlecruisers bear down on him. A nightmare scenario. And DT's coming in there. So good feedback's going on the Ghosts. Archon's trying to engage against the Battlecruisers. Yamato Cannon not actually available on that one there. But there's so many units coming in here from Ryung. More being warped in to try to deal with this. The DTs are currently still slicing their way through the army. The Battlecruisers are just unanswered right now. Because what the hell do you do to Battlecruisers in this situation? Ryung continues to hold on. Those Dark Templar are smashing the army apart, but it's just not quite enough.
Doesn't know about the DTs until now. Finally scans away. BlinG does have a lot of money, but unfortunately is about to crumble. These Battlecruisers doing unlimited amounts of damage right now.
Yeah, there's only, I mean, admittedly, there are only 2. He could easily snipe that one right there. It's very, very weak, and he's actually allowed that to happen there. But 2 more Battlecruisers crashing down onto that natural. Oh, Mule's coming down. It's just for repairs or mana, I don't know, but GG. Nicely played there by BlinG. 36-minute game.